The ballots are in the mail. County Auditor Greg Kimsey oversees elections and says the primary is officially underway.
The ballots were delivered to the post office yesterday, and voters have begun receiving the ballots as of today. Monday morning, we expect to have several thousand ballots here in our office to begin processing.
You can tell it is primary election season. In and around Vancouver, the political signs are up for a variety of races. That includes a race to replace retiring Clark County Sheriff Chuck Atkins. There are 3 candidates for sheriff. All have decades of law enforcement experience. John Horch has spent his entire career with the Clark County Sheriff's Office. David Shook mostly with the Washington County Sheriff's Office and the past few years with Clark County, and Ray Reynolds with WDFW and the Vancouver Police Department. Also a primary race for the 3rd Congressional District. Jamie Herrera Butler holds a seat and faces a challenge from 8 other candidates, including Trump-endorsed Republican Joe Kent, Republican Heidi St. John, and Democrat Marie Glusenkamp Perez. Political science professor Mark Stefan thinks it's an interesting race because of what voters may do in a slightly Republican district and what it would mean for November.
So Perez would have a better shot with Kent, but it's a more risky situation for Democrats because they could still lose, and then they would get Joe Kent versus Herrera Butler in this position for the 3rd district. And for many Democrats, that would be upsetting.
Unlike in Oregon, Kimsey says in Washington, it's a top 2 election.
What happens is the top 2 vote getters go on to the general election. It doesn't matter what the political parties are of those candidates. It's just simply the top 2 vote getters go on to the general election.
So it is time to watch for your ballots in the mail, do your research, and then, as it has worked for years, get it back to the elections office by mailing it in or dropping it off at a secure drop box location.
We have a number of controls and procedures in place to ensure that when you drop your ballot off in the ballot drop box, it is going to be delivered to the elections office.
Yeah, there are 22 of these drop boxes throughout the county, and I'm going to repeat myself, but it bears repeating. You have until 8 p.m. on August 2nd, and you can get it mailed in as well, but it has to have an August 2nd postmark at the latest, and election officials say be good to get it done just a little sooner than that. Why not? Back to you.
Yeah. Always good to be early. Tim, thank you. A lot of races to watch there.